Hello, boys and girls. Today we are starting chapter 11 to cover some of the last couple of standards that I need you guys to be in. We have to jump to chapter 11 and chapter 12 to finish out the year. Your vocab should be done and submitted. Your opening question was one of those. What is the environment? What do you think of when you think of your environment? What do you think of? You know, usually in this time of year, you think of the woods, the trees. You might think of Bellwood. You might think of the stream, you know. I bet a lot of you guys have been fishing, you know. Trout season comes in the spring. The environment is the area that an organism lives and everything that surrounds it, including the non-living and living parts. Chapter 11 is the ecology chapter. Ecology is the study of the environment. The environment is everything that surrounds an organism. You must get all of the necessities of life from your environment. You need water, you need proper temperature, you need nutrients. If you need to find food, it might be plant food, it might be animals as food, it might be bacteria, you might be a decomposer. Whatever that you need to find out of the environment, you need to find. Make sure that you guys are watching these videos at home. I don't put them into my videos because you have the notes there. All you have to do is click on them and run them. Ecology is the study of living things in the environment. In ecology, you study relationships. It could be the relationships between foxes and rabbits. It could be the relationship between foxes and snakes and rabbits. Well, rabbits get eaten by snakes. Rabbits get eaten by foxes. They compete. That's a relationship. My favorite college class of all time was ecology with Dr. Zimmerman in college. We went out and did all kinds of stream studies, and we did field studies, and we did forest studies on the age of the trees, and we did deer studies. It was so much fun. Ecology is the chapter for you if you like the outdoors. What are interactions? An interaction is where one or two things interact with each other or act upon. The environment is important because an organism must get all of its needs of life from it. Those needs of life are going to be your living space, your food, your water, nutrients, sunlight. Maybe it's mates, maybe it's something else. Organisms interact. The definition of interact is to act upon with other organisms in the environment. If you're talking about, I have an oak tree in my front yard. Squirrels love to eat the acorns in the fall. I also get deer and some other organisms will come in and pick up the acorns out of my front yard. That's an interaction between the oak tree, the ground, and the organisms that are feeding on its acorns. Really simple one. The number of foxes goes down. Well, if for some reason a disease kills off the foxes in an area, the rabbit population is going to go really, really high. Because when you have less predators, the prey can excel. Organisms must interact with the non-living parts. Worms that enrich the soil, but plants. This is the time of year where farmers are spreading manure on the fields. Literally, every farm field you see now, they're spreading manure. What are they doing? They're adding nutrients back to the soil that when they grow their crops, like corn, like wheat, like alfalfa, are going to draw the nutrients out of the soil. So you spread cow manure or horse manure or whatever you have that is full of nitrogen. That nitrogen goes into the soil and helps to make the plants grow better. Here is a photo. Really pretty photo, right? What types of interactions could you imagine here? So think of things in your mind right now. Write them on your paper. I'll write some down over here after you guys have a couple of seconds to think. You've got trees, you've got sunlight, you've got clouds, you've got either a river or a pond, you've got some water vegetation, some types of interactions. The first one, you clearly have water, right? So maybe you have fish and water. Fish are living, water is non-living. It could be deer that live in the woods. That's an interaction. It might be insects feeding on the water plants. Maybe it's fish feeding on those insects. If you come up with any better relationships than this, send them to me. Post them in the class for us to see them. I would love to have discussion on things. Unfortunately, the way that we're doing lessons right now, this is kind of hard, but I appreciate any types of ideas. If you came up with these, great. If you came up with more, even better. So that takes us to the end of the lesson today. You guys need to read page 256 to 257. There's 2 videos that I want you to watch. Or is there only one? There's only one video that you have to watch. And do those questions. Thank you guys. I'll see you soon.